A friend of mine has this little Martin LXM, and apparently some kids completely beat on it. So the top is lifted off a bit, and this of course is broken. It looks like the sides are like Formica or something. So I'm going to try to repair this. I'm going to use super glue on the sides. Then I have this comically gigantic and heavy clamp that I will, push the sides together. And I doubt I'm going to get it like a perfect, almost like seamless fix because it's curved. So the little tiny edging, there's no way I can get that curved down. And it seems really kind of rigid. It's Formica. So I don't know how well the super glue is going to clamp every tiny little bit down, but I'm going to do my best. And I guess I'm going to try to do this kind of all at the same time. Then wood glue in the gap here and tape it down with just some painter's tape. 1, 2, 3, like all the way around to try to hold that together. Who knows? We'll just have to see what happens. So, I'm going to try to, because the way that this is broken, like this part here is going to be like the outside. So this kind of goes over this edge here. Then you can see like here, the left side goes over that. Then it looks like about here, the right side goes over the left. So it sort of broke, not like a perfect, right angle break. So there's some like kind of diagonal overlapping, and it's not all consistent which side is sort of the top layer and which side is the bottom layer. So I'm just going to do my best with a toothpick and try to kind of, wiggle along the seam, popping the little bits under that need to go under, the little bits over that need to go over. I think at the very least, once I glue the top onto this, as long as there's a little bit of glue holding this together, it's still going to have that crack, but at least it's playable. So that's the goal. So I'm going to do this because I don't know how long it's going to take, and this video is going to be long and boring enough already. So I'll be back when it's all taped up and clamped. So I glued it, super glue on that crack. I don't know how well it's going to work. A little bit of wax paper. Hopefully that will keep it from sticking, but you know what, it's a mess to begin with. Glued the top and the side seam with wood glue. I just used Titebond and taped that up, and now I'm just going to let it sit for at least 24 hours, and then we'll peel everything off and see how it turned out. I don't have very high hopes for this. So, broke a string while I was retuning it. So, it's not great, but it works. The problem is it's plastic. It's like Formica. It's not wood. So I can't glue it with wood glue and then clamp it down and then kind of sand the seam a little bit and use any filler, and it's just like, I mean, right here it's missing bits and pieces of, I'm going to try to show it as best I can. Yeah, it's hard to, okay, but see, so right here it was like missing chips of plastic because it just shattered. So right here it actually came out, as you can see, like fairly smooth. It fit together fairly well, but it's missing chunks of plastic. So, I mean, there's nothing I could do about it. And this here, it was missing pieces of plastic and I couldn't get it to fit together right. So there's a little bit of a lip. It looks worse. Like, I'm looking at the screen in this camera and it looks way worse than it really is in real life. I guess like in real life, it's like that. You know, it's not so bad. There's a little bit of a lip, but if I sand it down, it's just going to expose more of the underside that isn't the wood fake, you know, the wood grain paint, I guess, print on it. But what are you going to do? And then, you know, glued the top. It didn't fit perfect, but it's glued together, and not in tune because broke a string while I was doing it, but you know, it still works. So there we go. That's about it. That's the best I can do for, you know, virtually no money. So it's just a friend of mine's and trash to begin with, so now it's slightly better than trash.